welcome to another episode of Husbands Watching Housewives. I'm Scott.
And I'm Jeff.
And we just watched an episode of the Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Yes, jab, jab.
I just wanted to be jab, 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 jab. And also, I kind of want to talk, what is, like the aliens in Mars Attacks.
I've never seen Mars Attacks.
It's not the best movie.
Is that 97?
Somewhere around there. Yeah. It was of the time. It was kind of a letdown of a movie. But yeah, the aliens are the cutest thing in there because they're all like, just all, jab, jab, so they make really fun noises.
Anyway. I gotta say, Housewives can be very educational. I'd never heard of jab, jab.
Yeah?
I didn't really know much about Grenada or its people and its customs, so educational.
Yeah, Carnival seems to be something that is a more universal kind of, what is the word? Not ceremony, but I guess observance. And the different ways that different places make Carnival their own is interesting.
But like the history of it all, and flipping the whole slave narrative, and that was just really, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, I once went to the Carnival Festival in the Mission in San Francisco. And I learned a lot just being there, and then I went home and Googled a bunch of it. And that's...
Wait, was this like their carnival? Did I miss that part?
Yeah, that's what she was saying is like it starts off Carnival. So like this is like a part of it. Unless I completely misunderstood. I might have misunderstood. You made it seem like this was like the launch of Carnival. The same way like, Mardi Gras is the launch, or that Fat Tuesday's the launch of Mardi Gras or whatever.
Right.
So anyway, am I...
Day of the Dead, kind of.
Yeah, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, that was pretty intense.
Yes.
But backing up.
Where did it start?
We never know where it starts.
Oh, well, they flashback to like the twerking.
There was a lot of twerking.
A lot of twerking.
It started with twerking, ended with twerking.
Well, a lot of booty slapping.
Lots of...
Oh, if I was a lady.
A lot of booties slapping.
Yes, cheeks clapping. If I was a lady, I don't care if you're my best friend. I don't think I want to slap your booty. Like, that's a little intimate. Your bare booty.
I don't know.
I want to slap Phaedra's bare booty if I'm her best.
But the thing is, though, is that, like, I think if you wear fashion that puts your bare booty on display in general, then I think that's, it's not as private at that point. It's out there for the world to see. Like, as men, we don't go walking around wearing thongs, but
no,
they're out there doing that. So.
It's funny when you just waved your hand. I felt like this cold breeze. I'm like, ooh, where'd that come from?
Oh, should we?
It's hot.
I know. This loft
really,
will never
and these
be
lights,
cool.
and then
yeah, I never will. So
anyway, it started with twerking. They cried with Shamea, then they twerked with Shamea.
And then the next morning it was everyone going, what the hell was up with Brit?
Thank you. I love, because as a viewer, I'm like, am I just being an asshole? Like, she's like comforting Shamea, and I'm like, it was weird. But I love that, like, the flashback to Drew being like, what are you doing?
I thought that Angela was trying to start something with Drew. And then I looked at you, it's like, I can't look at your face. And then they cut to her face being all like, what the hell?
It was very acty.
Yeah, and I like that Drew at least admitted to it. I mean, I have no idea what my face was doing, but that was some acting.
Yes.
That came out of nowhere.
I love you, Shamea.
So weird.
I love you. Like, she was almost like shaking Shamea.
Yeah.
Like John Hamm.
And I think before it even got to Porsha and Phaedra and Cynthia kind of talking about things, it got to Kelli and Brit kind of talking about why did you set me up? Or why didn't you back me up for the thing, for the donation?
You were cheap, and you didn't give a good donation. And it's, but then when they got into more stuff about the glam squad controversy and whatnot, and, you can't have my glam. And it was there's maybe as the show, because when the show first started, they seemed to be very much on the same page, we're besties. And maybe the show is breaking them down, and we don't see behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you're right. That's a good call.
But I love that everyone else noticed it.
Yeah.
Very perceptive.
Yeah. It also just seemed like, I don't know, without saying as much, and I guess with the context being given to us that there's this whole kind of behind the scenes thing going on, when Brit goes to Kelli and ends up being like, why didn't you have my back? There's enough to be because girl, I don't want to have your back.
You're on the losing team.
It's not that it's losing team or winning team. It's just that you're leaning on me so hard. Like, I'm not gonna do this all for you, is what it really felt like.
Right, not losing you, but it's like, I'm not gonna die on this hill with you, because I don't believe what you did was correct by not giving a great donation.
Oh, I'm not even talking about the donation, though. I'm talking at this point, I'm just talking about basically that, like, you keep saying that we're besties, like, oh, that's, we're good friends and everything, but like, you're expecting me to use my glam squad for you. You're expecting me to like cover your back. You're expecting me to do all this stuff. It's like, what are you doing? Like, you need to do something yourself.
Well, and Brit was like, you're hiding behind your entourage. I'm like, okay, I see you're trying to go deep with that, but I don't see that being the case.
Yeah.
And Kelli was just like, oh, we're doing that.
Yeah. And she didn't.
She got very quiet,
very
like,
much.
okay.
Yeah. So it was interesting to see.
The African starter kit.
And we learned things about Cynthia today that I didn't think I knew already.
I don't know. And then Cynthia was like, did you see that on TV?
Yeah, she looked very thoroughly.
Like, we're talking about my CLIT.
Yes. And then, I mean, I guess you can't really make a joke about a hood, and then where Phaedra took it. So we half the fun of having a podcast is thinking of clever / stupid names for our episodes,
right?
And so every time there were so many good ones in this episode, but I was like, well, we can't really put anything about the clan in the name of our episode. That doesn't search well.
No.
We can't put anything, we can't put things about body parts.
No.
That's not going to search well.
No.
But so that led me to Phaedra has I can see why they wanted Phaedra back. She got a lot of good one-liners.
Yes.
But I feel like almost too many one-liners.
Well, that's why, there's that one reunion where, because she got caught up in her words and she was nervous, and Kenya was like, rehearse read.
Oh.
I think because that's what she does. Mm-hmm. She I think really sits, some come easily and some are just like, I've thought about this.
Yeah, and then what was it towards the end? She said 4 different times about jab. It was,
or I'm getting pregnant.
Oh, I'm getting, yeah, and that
I'm pregnant. We're both pregnant. I'm like,
we're pregnant by the same man, and it's like,
no bodily fluids were swapped.
Yeah, I mean, does she know how that works?
Well, she's like, I got my ring in.
Yeah, the Nouveau ring, I'm assuming. I said this too. I enjoyed Phaedra when they showed her twerking at the pool. She looked really good, but she also looked just kind of without makeup. She looked really good. She looked just natural, and it made her look the age that we know her to be. Because sometimes she looks a little too put together and a little too older. But that's when we saw Angela at the breakfast table, or talking to Drew anyway, where she didn't have makeup on.
Yeah.
That's where it clicked to me that she does her makeup too old for herself. We said
this about somebody else too, but a lot of housewives, not a lot, there are a good number who are young and they appear older because they're really painting for HD. Forget the back row.
Right.
Painting for HD. Right. And it can age you as opposed to a bare.
Well, I think there's a difference between, it may very well be TV, makeup versus regular natural makeup, but I do feel there's Jen Aiden, for instance, on New Jersey.
Yeah.
She's someone I feel her style of makeup is such that it makes her look like, working girl 1980. She's trying to look like a sophisticated businesswoman.
It's very Mother of the Bride.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah.
Yeah. Both at the same time.
Yes.
And so it kind of ages her. Whatever, I feel whatever Angela's doing with her lips, the darkness of her lip is just making her look older. It's not a style that's we're seeing on other women right now.
Right.
And so maybe it's her signature thing and she likes it. But I think that's the thing that makes everyone, myself included, be like, really? She's only 44?
Is that her age?
Isn't that what they're saying on 2Ts? 44, 46?
I thought 46. She's our age.
Right.
But yeah,
I thought with some of her makeup and her styling, I would think that she's early 50s.
And that one, is it the leopard print dress where she has got a very bold lip and the hair is the wig is maybe giving a little
Electra.
Everyone's Electra to you. Weren't you saying Kiki from Miami was Electra?
I was probably. Yeah.
You know,
It's just that older kind of overly like super poised, just modelish black woman.
well, because it was set in the 80s too, Pose, and
Right.
so like that was
It
a
gives
look.
that 80s look for sure. So anyway, no, it was very nice to see her without the makeup and go, oh, okay, she like, I don't know. Also, I think a lot of the other women on especially on Housewives, they do different looks. And I don't think that Angela has done different looks. And so
No.
far with Phaedra's return, Phaedra's done different hair and stuff,
Yeah.
but her makeup seems to be the same every time. But anyway, very happy to see it. Versatility. Drew does different looks. I don't like any of them, but you know.
I like her one confessional, like with her the orange dress and like her hair down to.
Oh yeah, that one's all right.
That's a good beat too. Yeah.
So anyway, sorry we got derailed on.
Her wigs though on the trip have been kind of like very wiggy.
Travel wigs got to be tough.
That's why Cynthia and Angela were smart doing like the braids or whatever.
Right,
you know?
and the hair condoms. But you thought you're like, oh, it's like umbrella.
It was like an umbrella. It was like a sock for your hair.
Umbrella
like an umbrella sheath. Yes.
Isn't that what you'd call it? There's got to be a name. It's not an umbrella cover.
I think that's what they call it. You don't go to Walgreens and like, can I get one of those sheaths?
I know, but you don't buy those separately.
No, you buy an umbrella with the sheath on it.
It comes with it.
But you never use it again because you lose it or you toss it.
Oh yeah, that's true. And then it's like stuffing a sleeping bag back. You know, you can never get it back in the whole thing.
Right.
It's
not be smooth like when you wrap. Yeah. What do? Kelli had her call. That lasted 5 minutes. I was looking at the time on the phone.
Her call
with her divorce lawyer.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she's divorced
now, but as of next week's episode, she's not.
Correct.
So, I don't. I don't know. Her divorce seems to be something that like I'm just taking for granted is going to happen, and then like this has been her entire storyline. So I think it's a little unfair of me to like not be interested in it, but I'm not interested in it. Like it's the one thing also, like we know it's a horrible marriage. We know that, according to everything she's told us, he's abusive and we have no reason to think otherwise. So it's not like something I'm like, oh, darn, she's getting divorced. It's so, and I know that like there's negatives and positives to getting divorced. Like even though this is the right thing for her to be doing, distancing herself from this man, it is sad that like chapter of your life ends and you're changing and all that stuff. But at the same time, like as a viewer, I'm like, no, this is the right thing. This should be happening.
He's doing like horrible things to her. Aside from like the abuse of the marriage, is also like fighting her every step of the way about custody and like selling land. She was saying, So it's just
So I just really don't. Okay. It's happening. Cool. Let's let it happen. Let's get it there. So the details of it aren't interesting to me, but I'm also never been through a divorce.
Right.
I better never go through a divorce.
No.
Thank you. No. So yeah, it's something that I'm just, I'm like, okay, cool.
Same with Drew. Yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, Drew's making it worse to watch though. I don't know. I can't.
What else happened?
The crystal broke. I like how they stopped.
Housewives love symbolism.
Yes. Did I say something about, or was that during Miami when I mentioned Lois? There's a sign from Lois as a bird.
Oh, yes. I think it was Miami.
It was Miami. There's always a sign and symbol. I like how they show her winding up to like throw the crystal.
I swear I thought she was going to hit the wall with that.
Well, I'm just glad they stopped. I was like, I don't want to see her like throwing this new age crystal like over into the sea, like littering of sorts, but it
reminded me of like The Cleaner, that movie.
The sponge falling from the sky. Yeah, like it's gonna pierce someone's sail on someone's boat.
Side note, if you want like a really like it's not a great movie, but if you're looking to like spend 90 minutes on some thriller type material,
yeah, I'd say like modern day Die Hard. I think it was just called Cleaner.
You're right.
Not that.
No, I think it was The Cleaner. She's a cleaner. Yeah.
It was good. It was really good.
It was good.
I mean, entertaining. Good. Like it was. It's not winning any awards.
The Viola movie was better though.
Yeah.
It was a better hostage situation. It was more clean cuts.
Yes.
You didn't have hostages like rebelling against one another. No.
Yeah. That was crazy. But yeah.
And maybe Oh, there's a fashion shoot with like Porsha gave Shamea her hat. It's like the sister of the traveling pants
Sister of the traveling hat.
hat.
Yeah.
Her Gilligan's Island hat or Gilligan's Island hut hat.
It, it honestly looked like someone took Cousin It and just threw it on someone's head. It just did not look like a good hat. I didn't enjoy it. It seemed strange. There was one thing that Porsha said where she was like, "Oh, so I let her have my hat fashion shoot," and it was just like, "Okay, you look how giving of you." Like, oh, you're such a selfless friend.
I'm sure you took like 1,000 other selfies and I follow you on Instagram, Porsha.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there's many, many more.
Yeah, so I was just like, okay, I guess you let her have that.
Have that moment. But like Shamea was like, well, she's bless her heart. She just like, any little thing, she'll just be like, oh, Porsha love me.
Yeah.
She think about me.
I have to say, when she called her mom, and they showed her like in the FaceTime, that was like, she was giving in that, like, for you to look that good, not just on FaceTime, but on FaceTime on Housewives.
Yeah.
Like before she like anyone answered, I was looking at it, I was like, damn, she is like serving right there. It was perfect.
Really pretty. Like the color she was wearing.
But then once she got on the phone with her mom, you see her in the corner all off center and stuff. Yes. All the usual stuff that you expect from a housewife. Like, can you see me? What? Huh?
That whole thing is so weird. Like, I still understand like what Nurse Ratchet you hired to like look after your child, and like why she was like
the way her mom was explaining it, I think I understood it better. The baby had a fever, and so the baby was shivering. Or the baby had a fever, so the nurse cranked the air conditioning to like keep the baby cool because she had a fever. So they're trying to bring her fever down. And so the nurse was all bundled up because it was so damn cold. But then the baby wasn't covered, and so the baby was just shivering, and it wasn't helping. Like, it was just bad.
No, what I got from that is that like Shamea's mom walked in there, and the baby was shivering and cold, and she had to hold the baby for like an hour.
Yeah, no.
Stop shaking. I don't think she had a fever.
No, she mentioned she had a fever.
Oh, they
mentioned something about it, like she had a fever, and so that's why it clicked in my head. I don't think that that's how you handle it, but I guess back in the day, if you had a fever, they'd stick you in a cold bath. But either way, like, that's not the sort of thing that you want to see happening to your child or hear.
What you're saying makes more sense. I don't know if that was actually the case, or if they just hired a negligent nanny, but I don't know.
Yeah, it just seems weird. It's the only thing that would make sense to me is that they purposely blasted the AC to make it cold to help the fever, and that would be the only reason why the nurse or the nanny was dressed for the North Pole.
Why the kid wasn't wearing socks or anything.
Right.
I don't know. I just.
We can go back. We can go back and watch that detail. I really think that's what was going on. I could be wrong, but either way.
Regardless, I don't think that nanny is employed anymore.
Yeah, and I don't think that that's the way you do it. I imagine
not in 2025.
I'm sure some baby Tylenol helps.
I mean, or some Benadryl or some such.
Something. So anyway, but yeah, that was sad still.
Very much so.
But now I know that Shamea's mom name is Sarah. I noticed that.
I thought it was interesting they didn't like go to Shamea for her reaction to Brit yelling in her face, like in her confessional. I wonder how she felt about it. If she was like, this is fake as shit, or she was like, I really appreciate her being there for me. Yay, sisterhood.
That's a good question.
Yeah, everyone else's point of view but Shamea.
I wonder if Andy will bring it up at the reunion.
Without Brit there?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, damn it. Way to rain on my parade. Way to rain on my jab. What would happen if it rained during jab?
It's just like oil slick.
I'd just be all over the place.
I just no.
I did think it was funny the next day when Brit was like, I can tell which one of these ladies do not know how to shout. And then the fact that there was just like black oil everywhere when they got back. Honestly thought that it would be way worse when they started showing like, Porsha's butt print and everything, and they showed that the bedding and everything.
Yeah.
I thought it would be 10 times worse than it was. But I was watching, I was like, I wonder what that material really is. Like, is it just body paint, I guess?
Didn't seem paint. It seemed like
oily, right?
Like
they kept
oil,
saying.
like some sort of black oil.
Or as Phaedra says, oil. It's some oil.
Which
that's just that whole southern. I'm pregnant.
Oh,
I was old.
like I was just. It seemed very ominous to me. Like no, I shouldn't. I mean, yes, the history of it all very interesting.
Right.
Like it just seemed like to be in that and like to be like so in it, I would be like claustrophobic.
Yeah.
You know, so that's I just would be alarmed. Like this is too much going on.
Well, and then Porsha, I think Porsha was explaining it because she did her research.
Yeah, she Googled it.
She Googled it, which we probably should have done before we record. Learned a little bit more about it. But no, she was saying that there was an element of it where they were supposed to resemble the devil. Like, so they were supposed to
because they
take back that narrative.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And so it does explain why a lot of the imagery was the one guy just being all heavy metal,
Yeah, and like breathing out the fire.
Exactly. So it is definitely very loaded with some devil.
It's heavy imagery.
Yeah,
it's heavy imagery for sure. Yeah.
So what I didn't understand, and if we do go back to watch anything to find out about the fever, did they have their special jab? Was just for them? Because the way Shamea
I didn't
was
understand what
explaining
she was saying too. Like, because normally jab is at 6 a.m.
Right.
But they were like, these ladies are not gonna get up for that, so they got like a special jab.
Or they started. Yeah, I was confused about it because she
it goes on all day though, so maybe they like missed the opener of jab.
Well, they seemed to be up pretty early. It was still dark, so I feel like they got up super early.
No, that was at night.
Oh,
because she was like, they made they allowed us to do this at night.
Oh, okay.
Normally they kept saying 6 a.m. 6 a.m.
See, we're up so damn early because of the cats that I'd have no problem with some 6 a.m. jab.
Like roll out, put some body oil on me. Let's go to jab. No.
And it was funny watching some of the women who were just kind of like, oh, look, I put some oil on my face. And then Porsha was just soaking in it.
Yeah, like let me just get in my jab pool.
Yeah, let's get some jab in my jab.
And I did not need to hear Brit saying and I was like, spread them, Porsha. Look at that booty crack.
And then Phaedra talking about how the midwife comes in and cleans your back. She's like, I felt like I had another baby. Phaedra's having a lot of babies this episode.
A lot of babies.
So, but yeah, I agree. It was kind of that episode that was a lot of fun. And
they needed fun. They needed more fun with this group.
Yeah.
And they didn't have it. So I think it was good they got to fun.
Yeah.
And then 72 hours later, it's going to be
cannot wait. It'll be good. So, anything else we should cover? If we get out of this blazing heat.
I think we covered all the ladies.
Well, if we didn't, Jab did. They were all covered in oil. Sorry. I just don't want to stop saying Jab. I want to keep saying Jab.
Is that the name of the episode?
I mean, how is the problem? So the other problem is, though, is that we don't want to pick the name that everyone else picks for their
episode. Right.
So I don't know, jibber jabber,
a dab of jab,
a little jab will do ya. I have no idea. We'll brainstorm this and we'll figure it out. And until next time.
Okay.